Welcome back. Can they hear me? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Huge apologies here. Unfortunately, the bad news is my computer completely crashed and all my overlays got screwed up. The good news is Luke was able to step in and get his up and running very quickly, and we're back with not much action missed from what I've seen. I know we've been under caution pacing around for the last handful of laps here, but no actual, lap down cars, meatballs, anything like that. So it seems like we haven't missed much action out here. On the last stream, we got through the qualifying and we got through the gridding, but over here, the pace car is coming in, and it seems we're here just in the nick of time, as the 12 car of Johnson and the 01 of Petrovsky are going to take us away here at the green flag. And we are off to the races here for the second time of the night, for the first time for us here at Phoenix. I lied. There we go.
There we go.
Green. That's gonna take us. That's gonna take me at least some time to get used to, Luke.
What the?
And as they go through the dog leg and gain any positions anywhere they can, it's a great jump for the 12 car here of Zeb Johnson. Petrovsky alongside Christopher McCullough are on that second lane back, and we are under caution. Maybe? Are we actually under caution, or is it just saying that because we're late?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, we are. And
yes, we are.
I'm reading Hunter Azell and Brianna Lawrence crashing here, Luke.
I'm reading a couple. Let's go back and take a look at this one.
Ooh, just watching this back from my first glance, it's not a small incident here. It starts around the 19 here of Hunter Azell.
Oh.
As the 88 actually is going to start this one. Yeah, that just kind of seemed like an unnecessary move here this early, Luke. What do you think?
I mean, after watching that one back, I gotta agree with you, Kevin. Very, very early on for an incident, in my opinion, and sorry, I'm busy getting all the trade paint and all that stuff up. It seems to be seems to all be within working order now. But yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like it was a little bit of a forced position there, a little bit, Kevin. I don't know. A little early on for that, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, Jaden Knight and Jeremiah Nelson fighting for positions there, kind of towards the back already. I don't know how far back, obviously not all the way in the back, but very early to be, trading paint, so to speak, this early. And it's going to collect, I want to say, 4 guys. I see the 19 of Azell involved heavily, the 3 car of Justin Zemecki involved pretty heavily. And a few guys have not night-ending damage, but definitely not type of damage you want to see on lap 1 if we're seeing a series of pits out of the guys I just mentioned.
Yeah, let me see the guys all making their way around. Well, we're pacing out here. I believe they're going to go down one more time. Like, still on the pace car out here, so go around one more time. Got to be your favorite. You had to pick one.
Out of all of what tracks? Intermediates?
Yeah, intermediates.
I honestly would call this a short track. I think it's a mile long, but it kind of drives like a short track from the times I've driven the old one.
Well, I guess in that case, how would you get us to pick a short track?
Look, I've always, from a viewer's perspective, or a driver's perspective.
Just your driving, I guess.
My driving, I've always been a big fan of Iowa. I think Iowa's a very fun track. There's some other kind of odd ones like Concord that I like. But as far as NASCAR goes, I've got to go with Iowa.
Yeah, sorry to say it, Kevin, but shut the hell up, Kevin. We're going green. We're going racing.
And it's going to be a little bit delayed here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be fooled twice. That being said, it's going to be Zeb Johnson on the restart once again with Jacob Petrovsky on his outside, McCullough and Price on the second line, and we are green. Another great jump there for Zeb Johnson, Luke.
Yeah, I got to get used to that dog leg there off the start. That is... That
You know, I
fucks
heard
with me every time. Can't lie.
I heard the gasp, the first turn of the first lap.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah, Fred, I've got to agree. Gateway and Charlotte, both very fun tracks
Oh yeah.
out
Charlotte's-
here. As far as intermediates, I'm gonna think on that and get back to you. But yeah, short tracks, I gotta go with Iowa. As we see Zeb Johnson out here to a great launch of about half a second already on Jacob Petrosky and Christopher McCullough in pursuit as well. I'm seeing a couple crash again as we are once again under caution here, Luke.
And James Hudson.
I'm reading James Hudson involved, maybe, as well as
for 2.
possibly Kyle Van Drunen.
We'll go back and take a quick glance at that. We're still green right now. And another. Oh man.
No, we're not. We're not green.
We're not. That's a caution. Oh yep. No, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
I can assure you.
Yeah. I was under the impression we were still green. Yeah. No, we are not.
Unfortunately, that's going to bring out caution number 2. And go back and look at this one last time. There's James Hudson. Involved heavily there. Not only another car, I'm trying to get a read on. It looks like it starts.
The 48
with the
kind of shoots the
99.
inside on the number 2 there.
Was it the 48?
Yeah, he shoots the inside on the.
Oh, you're right. I got you. And then the 99 comes and finishes the job. Oh, and then the 36 here of Kyle Van Drunen with a hard hit. I don't know if you play it out here, if it'll show it. I know there was some blinking. Play it out here. It looks like the job is finished on the number 2.
Number 5, sorry. The number 2.
There he is.
So we see, oh yeah, he definitely kissed the wall there.
Blinks out a little bit. And then the finishing blow there from Van Drunen.
Definitely another unfortunate accident here early on in this thing. We're very early on into this race. We've seen 2 pretty, I want to say back-to-back incidents almost. I mean, it's at least what it felt like.
Yeah, and you know, these guys, they realize it's 160 laps, so it's got to be at least somewhat demoralizing getting out here and getting some damage this early into the race. But at the same time, you know, these iRacing pit crews are miracle workers at times, so nobody's night, I don't believe, is over quite yet, except for, you know, the guys that are just throwing in the towel. I think anybody can make it back out here at this point. But we'll see as the pace cars coming in.
It's quite fast. I mean, you'll have to remind me, do we have any faster pairs out here?
Oh. We have 0 fast repairs out here with 5 tire sets.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, definitely taking the damage or incidents early on is a bad move here, but here we go, green, green, green. Once again, as I was saying, we're immediately under our 3rd caution. That's what I'm seeing.
Ooh. I'm also
And I'm
seeing
currently
that.
reading that Travis Farmer has crashed. And I'm assuming that's off our jump. We're going to go back and take a glance here fast. So it's going to be available to us right off our jump. Whoa.
Luke, that almost looked like your specialty. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have to go back in the in-car, I think, and watch that. But I think he might have just pulled some. Let's
Maybe not. I'm not hearing anything. I
Watch
mean,
the in-car.
let's. Yeah. Let's take a look here.
Oh no. It was most definitely the case.
Okay.
So
I'll take your word for it.
as it appears, Travis Farmer. Wait a minute.
But he's still moving. He's still
Yeah,
rolling. Are you sure he?
I think he did, but someone's
He
gonna
might
have
have
to
just
try to get
downshifted and hooked it
wait,
without
can
blowing
we
it
get him
up.
in here? Can we get him in here? Is he available? Are we able to get him on the mic?
Let me see.
I feel like we
call.
got permission to do that now. I suppose.
Yeah, if I can find him in a call.
Because I think he, from what it looked like he did pull a me and money shift there, but I don't think he was at a high enough RPM gauge in which it would blow up his motor.
I'm gonna bring him on over. I'm
yeah,
gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey man, well we were just discussing kind of what happened there, and Luke here is our money shifting expert, and we were wondering, is that the case here, or was it just getting loose, or what kind of sort of happened there on that caution?
It happened so fast, I'm not even sure what happened. I I
You
really
know,
don't know.
we're kind of in the same boat here because it almost looked like a mischief, but at the same time we didn't hear anything.
You didn't blow
You
up,
didn't
so
hit the chip.
even if you did money
So,
shift, I mean, it seemed like your RPMs weren't high enough that it would blow you up. So I think
I don't know, man.
a little bit of
just
magic,
got
man. Hey,
iRacing.
we got iRacing,
Yeah.
but you're still in it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
All right, well, we just wanted to bring you on over for a second and kind of talk it through and see if we could get any information on what happened there. But looks like you're still rolling out here, so we wish you the best of luck in the rest of this race.
All right, thank you, man.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And you see him making his way out of pit road now, probably freshening up a little bit of that damage there while he was talking to us. But I gotta say I'm amazed. That's got to be some sorcery right there. Every damn time I've been peak RPM and shifted down in here, it has blown my car right up. So I don't know what he did, but he's still in this thing.
Sort of
He's at the back of the pack now. I mean, not in the. He's down a lap. He's not in golden position right now, but hey, he's still in this thing, and the pace car is in, and he's back up to speed with the group here to go green. So could be a hell of a lot worse. They're going to cross the line and go green once again out here. It's the start of lap 20.
Yeah, it's still Zeb Johnson in the lead out here, maintaining a good lead, and he's doing that by getting these very, very strong restarts, getting almost a half a second on the restarts alone, just out in front of this time.
Oh, we see contact!
Oh,
we see
it's
the big one! Holy shit!
Oh!
The big one happens at Phoenix.
The big one at
On
Phoenix
lap
on short lap 20.
Kevin, I don't know. I had an intuition in my ear telling me to switch to that blimp cam. And I'm glad I did, because we just caught that one live right there. And we are reading multiple incidents. I'm seeing 2 meatballs on my screen right now. Kian Fry, as well as Matt Morrison.
I'll try to get you a number on where it started. It started... I want to say 78 area. Let me see if the 78 is a good view for us. That's going to be... I don't even see a 78. We'll try a 62.
62? Ty Carino, alright.
Ty Carino started somewhere around...
So we know what happens
Joe
going
also.
into this. We know what happens going into this turn here. So let's see what we can figure out down here. The number 9
I see
comes
where it
in
starts.
pretty
It's the
hot.
9.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
number 9 nails the 882 in the bumper there. I think hooks him, and then honestly,
And they cause a roadblock. Honestly,
yeah, I was gonna say that it gets to that point there, and then you look at the blimp, dude. It just causes a no other way to say it, a fucking pile up. I'm really shocked we only see two meatballs on screen right now, Kevin. I'm being completely honest. We're seeing more than half the field in the pit right now, from about 18th and back, is in the pit right now, getting some sort of damage repaired. I mean, it looks like a junkyard out there right now.
Absolutely, the biggest wreck I've seen at time maybe ever.
Everybody's sorting things out and trying to pick apart the damages, and we see a car completely stopped on the track back there, and that's Jacob Petrowski, I believe. What's going on back there with him?
Yeah, and well, I'm not quite sure, Luke, but I do want to pull over an interview, and could we, while I get this interview in here, get an onboard angle of that incident through the eyes of Nick Hames in the 31 mobile?
Yeah, sorry, that was just a break. Whoa. That was very weird. Sorry. Well, what did you want more time? I just wanted to watch that one back real quick.
Could we get the replay of that incident through the onboard of Nick Hames? I'm going to try to drag him
Haynes,
over.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See what he saw, if I could. Yeah, here we go.
Nick Hames, and you.
Hey, Nick, guys in the booth, you got a copy? Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Control, person catching up.
Hey, Nick, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, I just wanted to kind of talk you through that incident real quick because there was plenty of guys we could have brought over, but I noticed you were able to get through it in pretty incredible fashion. You want to talk us through kind of what you saw in that incident and, how it kind of collected into as many as it did?
I just saw smoke in front of me and cut it to the left. So I think I was really close to getting an ARCA break there, but yeah, we kept it clean, and I don't think we're done seeing yellow. So I think this drop to the back is a blessing in disguise. Just try to get to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. One more quick question before I get
Oh,
you out of
they're
here.
revving again. Oh,
Oh, boy. You know what? On
there's
that
another
note,
one. There's another one for your highlight reel right there.
on that note, I'll let you go. I know it's a stressful situation here at Phoenix, but we wish you the best of luck in the rest of this race out here.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Thank you. That was Nick Hames. Don't know if I caught him at a rough time because I'm hearing that they were wrecking again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kevin, as soon as we dissect one wreck, we got to go back and dissect another one. We bring this to a little bit of caution out here, and we're gonna go back and take a look at where this one stacks up at. It's taking us to the front up here near Zeb Johnson. I don't think it happens this far up front though. I'm reading it happens near Blaze Billing, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back here a little bit and see if we can figure this one out.
I'm seeing Blaze Billing as well as Nicholas Warner, and we're kind of just getting hit by cautions left and right here, Luke, and unfortunately, that is going to be number 4 here.
Oh
too far into this race.
And how Blaze Billing doesn't have a meatball right now, I do not know. He took a hard lick. You looking?
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
Yeah, I'm watching.
He comes in pretty hot here on this outside. Light contact with the car on his inside, and it just gets him loose the correction. Bam!
Oh, yeah, and
Still getting a little bit of contact.
honestly, yeah, a little bit more contact there. Lucky it wasn't even more than that because those cars were coming at him pretty quick. But I know we've had our hands very full so far this evening, Luke, but I think now is a decent break to try to get a little ad read in here. A huge thanks to our sponsor of the evening, Fast Fred's Wrap Shop. Upgrade your on-track image with Fast Fred's Wrap Shop, your go-to source for premium race car graphics. Complete league branding packages and custom logo for teams and businesses alike, built for winners. Fast Fred's blends creativity, precision, and racing passion to give you a look that stands out on any track. Like we always say, you might not be fast, but damn, will you look fast. Fast Fred's Wrap Shop, Luke.
You know, Kevin, we don't really get out there and race too much ourselves, but I gotta say, I'm getting into a couple different series myself while I'm racing. We might need to get us a couple more 9th gear vehicles out there. I know we only got a couple. Like a few more to add to the collection would be the worst thing.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Something we could definitely talk about because, you look good, you feel good, you play good. I think everybody could use a custom wrap out here on this track. I know we see a lot of the trading paints publics, but I'm always keen to the unique ones out here, Luke.
Of course, and that look good, feel good, play good. Good old saying we've been saying since T-ball, I think.
Quite possibly.
Of course.
Regardless, pace car is in once again out here. We're 5 cautions deep, and we are ready to go green once again with Zeb Johnson still leading us out here. Christopher McCullough on the outside now.
That delayed restart. Getting used to it. Here we go, going green. Off we go, Zeb Johnson.
Yeah, another great start here for Zeb. I don't know if he's very upset with the cautions happening behind him because it's weeding out drivers as well as keeping him up front because he has had very good restarts thus far. See some battles going on. Here's back to some 3-wide action.
I gotta say, that dog leg up there really shakes up the track.
Well, yeah,
oh, we see a turn! The 13!
Oh, and it's a
Oh, man.
David McCullough and Nolan Gross, both hard contact. Peyton Bass also involved, and we are under caution number 6.
We're still seeing the smoke. It looks like it's all clearing out. Everybody's getting sorted through from what we can tell. But boy, Kevin, I mean, we can't stay green out here.
Yeah, and that starts near David McCullough. I know he took a hard shot. So I'm going back to look right now, the number 13.
Looks like it stayed a 3-car incident as far as we can tell. Between the number
Now,
24, the 13, as well as, who is that also involved? The number 2. But let's go back and slow down.
Yeah, well, what I'm seeing here, Luke, is it almost looks to me like you see David McCullough kind of pacing off Kenny McCullough, but then he early breaks here, and I think that kind of throws Nolan Gross and company out of sorts. He just maybe overbraked a little bit. Obviously, I don't really know because I haven't raced the track, but just off the pace of the 03 from what I see is he kind of just slowed down a little bit more than he needed to, kind of causing that contact.
Yeah, and an unfortunate thing I'd like to point out here in this, I don't know if you really caught this here at the end, the 14 or the 24, when he was trying to avoid that one, he did not come in contact with either of these vehicles. Watch this come back slowly. He does not come in contact with either the 02 or the 13. He sees the incident coming up, gets close, slams on his brakes, cuts the wheel, and self-spins to avoid the incident. Comes in contact down there, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Lucas spoken too soon, because there was contact being made, just not with the two aggressors of the incident. So...
Yeah. Peyton Bass. We'll have to figure out who he came in contact with there at the end.
Just incidents breeding incidents out here, Luke, has been the name of the game so far.
You know, we got to remember, Kevin, we don't have much time to watch these back. As much as, we'd love to look back and watch the replays. But the lights are already off the pace car, so we got to be prepared to get this thing rolling again. This is
I'm confident.
a much shorter track.
I'm confident some of these incidents would be ruled a red flag out in the real world, but unfortunately we are on the sim. And they get it cleaned up quick, Luke.
Yeah, that they do, Kevin. Maybe that new pavement scrubbing technology that NASCAR hasn't quite figured out yet. But who knows? Pace car's in. We're getting ready to go green once again. And I feel as though it's not a bad idea to sit here and watch from the blimp cam here to start the first couple laps here. As they cross that line, I believe. Yep, and there we go. Going green. See the front bunch. All starting to fan
Great
out.
start for Zeb Johnson. I'd imagine he's getting pretty used to these restarts, Luke.
Yeah, and I bet he's also pretty damn happy to be in front of all of this. And we see someone up there under the wall. We see a couple chasers and a couple spins going on in the back again. And
we are under caution. This one is going to be Heath Job. Wait, no, that was old. This one is going to be Jacob Petrosky and Heath Job.
Yep. We kind of got a glimpse of that one there on the blimp, but let's go back and see if we can take a look at that one a little further. Let's slow it down a little bit. I mean, we see. I almost want to say that was two separate incidents there. Hold on a minute. Need to go back and take a look at that a little bit closer. So we see up there near the front, the 88 and the number 18. 88 just starts sliding up the track and bumps up into the 18. That's their incident. And I think Heath Job just self-spins there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Luke, why don't we take a look at this?
Locks up his brakes there, trying to avoid that one. Comes into some slight contact with Heath Job, and I think that sustains the incident.
Yeah, Luke, I was just going to mention, track tip is 88, which is, typically referred to as pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would be hot the way we're seeing some guys spinning out there. It doesn't seem to be too hot. I'm thinking maybe the change of temperature as we're kind of, at like a
sunset type of thing,
sunset
maybe.
Sort of deal, maybe. I don't know, but it does seem like this track is slippery out here. We're seeing lockups and we're seeing sliding around going on.
And, I'm not seeing any new reported meatballs, but I'm seeing a lot of drivers in the pits again right now, Kevin, and I'm seeing a lot of lap-down vehicles.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and name them off real quick, just so the viewers have an idea of who all's kind of gotten the short end of the stick here. Nolan Gross, Blaze Billing, Ty Carino, Jaden Knight, Peyton Bass, Nicholas Warner, Danny Barnes, Kean Fry, Matt Morrison, Reagan Shockley, James Hudson, Justin Zemecki, all down at least one lap. Now, some of these guys have already called it for the evening. I'm seeing at least half of the guys calling it for the evening, but we're seeing 25 cars on the lead lap when we started off at 36, Luke. So definitely damage taking a factor here early.
Yeah, no doubt, especially with the lack of fast repairs, Kevin. I mean, you know it comes into effect, but you really don't get to see it applied until you get put in a position where there's 7 cautions within 35 laps. I mean, they're dropping like flies out here, Kevin. And the lights off the pace car, and they're getting ready to do it again. If you got a car out there, it's got to be, for lack of better terms, Kevin, shitting bricks out here. Especially if you're near the back of this thing.
Ace car is coming in once again. 12th car of Zeb Johnson is going to be on the restart with Christopher McCullough on his outside. Price Hummel and Kenny McCullough follow.
Rolling around the O'Reilly corner. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what I'm calling it. They cross the line, and here we go, green once again.
Green, we are racing out here. A good jump by Zeb Johnson, but not as dominant as we've seen in the past. Chris McCullough with a good read on it, as he's going to follow about a 10th or 2 behind, as it's still an increasing gap. For
Oh
Zeb
man, and we
Johnson.
already see him wrecking again.
Oh, and it's a big one. A very
man.
big one.
Oh, and I hear blown motors, Kevin. I'm hearing
Carino, Swafford, McCullough, Petrosky, Gross, Billing, all involved heavily into this one.
Believe it or not, Kevin, up in 8th place right now. Omar Rodriguez as well. I'm reading right now. He's got a meatball. Look at him right now driving around the number 92. His vehicle seems to be driving all right, but oh, I think I might see our issue here.
Yeah.
Look at that front right tire, Kevin. You see that thing shaking. I'm no mechanical expert, but I don't think it's supposed to do that. And he's going to make his way into the pits for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and this one is going to start with the 78, Luke.
Let's go back and dig through this one. That was quite a big incident.
This one's going to start around Garrett Hummel and Kenny McCullough. It starts as what is just a 2-car incident, but the issue with Phoenix is it's a very hard track to read where these wrecks are going and hard to avoid. So as you see the 78 kind of dive in on the 3 and get him sideways, it all starts there, and it looks like, hey, you know, this could legitimately be a 1-car wreck. Yeah, there's just nowhere to go for a couple of the other guys, and that's a hard hit.
Yeah, and that ends his race right there. And we see behind him, just taking a look at the blimp cam. I mean, it's not pretty back there.
Yeah, just carnage here in the corner of Phoenix, because if it was a straightaway, maybe, but kind of with it not really being a straightaway track out here with very long and wide turns, it's hard to avoid. And as you can see, they're trying their best to get through. They're trying their best to get on the brakes.
Unfortunate there, and we're seeing Omar Rodriguez make his way into the pits once again, and I'm now seeing him with only a black flag, Kevin. I'm not sure if that's going to stay, but I swear on the live timing we saw a meatball there momentarily. Reading Kenny McCullough currently with a meatball, as well as Ty Carino. But once again, I feel like we're saying it a lot, but another vehicle, or a lot more vehicles in the pits, and that's just going to keep on weeding out the herd, in my opinion. See the number of drivers dropping, and I believe we only see 20 drivers on the lead lap right now. Maybe 21 drivers right now.
Try to get a read on that.
Either way, definitely dropping like flies, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I'm reading 21 on the lead lap here. With Zeb Johnson, probably the best position to be on this racetrack is in first. I mean, I know that's kind of how it usually is, but for different reasons this time, he has avoided everything so far.
Yeah, it's the, the mindset of you stay far enough away from it, you can hopefully stay, not involved in it. He's going to keep running with that mentality the whole rest of this thing if he can't afford it. Well, as long as this thing feels like it's went so far, we are still only on the start of lap 40 as they roll around here and cross the start-finish going into turn 1.
A great jump here for Dawson Price as he's going to stay on the inside there with Zeb Johnson and make it to the inside into second place, but Christopher McCullough is going to file back in behind him as Zeb Johnson maintains the lead.
Kevin, I gotta say, I think I might have figured out which turn is going to be messing with these guys the most. It's off these restarts. It's not into that first turn. It's
going up through the gears in the turn.
After they get up through the gears completely going into the second turn. Not that first dog leg.
And we're under caution.
And well, matter of fact, the turn I'm talking about right now.
I'm reading Al Likens, Jacob Petrosky, Jaden Knight, and Danny Barnes all involved in this one.
Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, it's once they all get caught up to speed, or once they're all still working through the gears is what I was going to be getting at there off the start. Everybody's working up through the different gears. Everyone's working through different speeds, and I think it just differentiates when they all get sent into that turn, Some people are going way faster than others, and I guess we'll just see if it's a similar situation on this one, as we are once again under caution.
Oh, and a hard lick. That's the 88 of Jeremiah Nelson tries to get by the 9 there and just almost makes it, but unfortunately a hard hit up into the wall.
And he's been involved in quite a few of them so far, Kevin. I mean, not necessarily has it been easy on him. He doesn't have, I'm not seeing a meatball or anything right now, but I imagine, he'd had to take a tow there, so his vehicle is probably not feeling too good. And one thing I would like to point out here, Kevin, and we're just going to watch a lap around here of Zeb Johnson, but they're coming out of turn 3, and this is one of the lovely things about running a later race such as this, especially in the deserts. And I believe we are probably going to see the light fixtures kicking on here, honestly, probably here in the next 20-ish laps if I had to take a guess, but coming out of turn 4, we'll see a slight, I believe a tiny glare of the sun, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a little bit. It's going down, but a little bit ago it was a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, and that could also kind of play in as a factor here to, why we've seen so many incidents, because I know on certain tracks when I get the glare in my eyes, I can't see anything else. I don't know if that's the case out here, but I know the sun can definitely be dangerous out here.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, agreed. See everybody catching up to pace here. The light's going to come off the pace car now. Going to get ready to re-rack them and get them going once again. Kevin, we're in the intermission stage, kind of the iRacing ranked season right now. Yeah. Any good promotions you were looking to get?
Oh, it's a sports car, but to kind of cut you off here, I'm noticing the pace car's in. I thought we had 2 more to go, but it looks like we're going to move to single file restarts in an effort to maybe clean things up off the restart. So we're going to see how this works out, Luke.
Yeah, single file all the way through.
I know the actual ARCA series on iRacing does this, I do believe. Maybe the Gen 4, one of the 2 series, does try the single file, and, I'm not opposed to it. I'm kind of eager to see how it works, but what it is going to do is give Zeb Johnson another great restart, because we are off green racing.
It's definitely going to spread them out a
is
little
in
bit.
pursuit.
And this is the turn I was saying is deadly right here, going into, I guess, turn 1 here after the dog leg. Everybody seems to make it through smoothly this time. On lap 1. Oh boy, and that's a tight group right there. It's around 10th place of Nick Hames. He's going to opt to go real low on that one. You know they got 5 sets of tires out here. They're not even at the lap 50 the other day. We're sitting at almost half the drivers eliminated so far. Everybody's
Yeah, and look, I'd have to imagine, you know, these guys are on all sorts of different strategies as far as tires go. I know some guys probably saw that first caution and thought about starting to, you know, think of a strategy. But here we are, plenty cautions later. And I'm not quite sure who's on what tires out here.
And how about Al Likens right now? Missing a whole front bumper, Kevin.
Persisting though, as he is makes way through the turns, kind of in a no man's land scenario or situation right now.
Yeah, he definitely appears to be quite damaged, but you know, his engine's got to probably be staying pretty cool though. I got to imagine.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of
But
airflow
how about
in there.
the 54 of Dawson Price now gaining on Zeb Johnson? This is the longest green flag run we've seen yet, and I think here soon we're going to see a battle between at least a couple of those front four.
Might even see a change in race leadership out here. 54 is starting to close the distance. Looks like we might have begun to find a groove out here. Just looking through the field out here, we don't see too much tight pack racing, and I'll be honest with you, Kevin, I'm not seeing anybody after 22nd place.
Yeah, I know we've had a lot of DNFs thus far tonight. Right now, Zeb Johnson probably feeling pretty comfortable about where he is. But if you're Dawson Price, you're also not too upset about this, because now you're finally getting to see what you can do on a little green run. You got, you know, the leader right in front of you, and he's closing that distance very slowly, I'd like to point out. You know, it's kind of back and forth between the turns, but all in all, I think he's putting up a little bit better times per lap. He has the fastest lap of the race, Dawson Price.
A little wall bump back there by the 04 in third place is going to slow him down a little bit. And, you know, I got to wonder if Dawson Price is making up that time in the dog leg. We see him dipping really low down there, like where the number 12 and everybody else in that front row is going right now. It's probably faster than that outside line, but you got to wonder, is that going to affect the tire wear function?
Yeah, obviously I don't know, because, like I said, not a big Phoenix guy, but any track where I've taken apron, you know, they always say it wears down your car to do it lap after lap after lap, so it's going to be interesting to see how these different lines play out later on in the race as we get into a possible green run. But how about the 54? Almost getting the left rear there of the 12. He is getting close.
And he's got the inside, it looks like, going through the turn. We're going to be door-to-door going down the straightaway.
Side by side.
Nope,
54 is going to be
have
able to
it.
file in one last time.
He's here, Kevin. He's knocking on the door. There's the 760 of Heath Job, a lap car now. You can see his rear bumper is quite smashed up there from an earlier incident. But he's going to stay out of the way of all of the leaders right now, give them their space. We saw Dawson Price make up a lot of time there and get pretty close to the number 12, Zeb Johnson, but seemed to have backed off a little bit.
And look, I'm going to get us started with our first pole of the night.
I'm going to take the no on that one.
You're taking the no?
I'll take the no.
You know, from what we've
Just
seen
based
so
off
far
I'm
throughout
just
the
using my
race.
observation clues, that's all.
Yeah, with that being said, though, we're now, 10, 15 laps green on this run.
That's something good.
And I do believe that single file restart really turned things around.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. It helps negate the need for the bunching up early. That's for sure. We see some very tight lines being taken. Not too sure how low you're allowed to go there, Kevin. I'll be honest.
I think the wall's the limit for these guys.
Maybe. As we see the 54 of Dawson Price has begun to catch up to Zeb Johnson once again. Getting pretty tight on his bumper here, and he's making up some time. has caught him. He's looking at the outside. The 12's going to go for the block. 54 looks back for the inside going into the turn, but he's not going to have it. The 12 retains the speed. 54 finding the grip, going into the... I can't remember what the hell that's called again, but man, they're cutting that turn tight. Log leg, I think. Right? Sounds about right. The 54 is here. They're looking for the pass, but not too sure if they're going to get it. Just to point out the differences here, I mean, your current race leader, Seth Johnson, is sitting at a 265 I rating right now with a C-class safety rating at a 2.2. The guy hunting him down right now, the 54 now white paper, is Dawson Price sitting at a 31.29 I rating at a A-class 2.37. He's got the inside, but man, that speed on the outside when the turn exits is just there. I feel like it's going to be very difficult to pass up here near the front. You don't really have much support behind you. You see that 78 is not so close. I think the 54 has got the demo stay a little higher more speed. We'll see how that sticks.
Yeah, and how about Garrett Hummel? He's moving through. He's up 24 spots on the day so far, Luke.
He's been pretty consistent here. Just saying, he's not staying the closest here on the 54 of Dawson Price, and I feel like that's the reasoning why it's so difficult to pass right now. I feel like it's going to be difficult on this track to make them passes without much traffic around him. Is what I'm trying to get at here, I think.
Yeah, and Luke, I've always noticed on the tracks that are the hardest to pass on, the tire saving is the most important here because one of the best ways to get that pass is to save your tires better than the guy in front of you. What line do you think there's a specific line they should be taking to kind of... Ooh, and as I say that, the 12 gets into the wall a little bit trying to get around some lap traffic. He gives him a little nudge. Lots of noise there.
Oh yeah, and that might leave a little bit of a window of opportunity there for the 54, but like I was saying, that exit speed is on the outside, that's for sure. But the 54 has gotten pretty close now, and that front four now has gotten pretty much back up after working their way through the lap traffic. It might create another window of opportunity here for the 54 to maybe consider another pass. He's going to look to the inside, and he's going to have it going through the turn, but is he going to have any speed to get up through the gears going out the straightaway? And once again, no, that 12 is just going to have the speed up there on the high side.
Yeah, and we kind of see the same situation going on for the battle for 7th here between Sean Merriman and Jeffrey Bourne. I've seen multiple times here Bourne dive into the inside, kind of try to get in there, and just not have the exit speed. Oh, and we're under caution.
Oh boy.
Because Heath Job has red crashed.
Before it leaves my mind, Kevin, the number 18 of Sean Merriman. He's rocking the Dr. Pepper Cherry Metallica car. I'm not too sure.
I noticed that.
Pretty nice, but let's go back and take a look and see if we can dissect this wreck. We had a long green flag run there. So
yeah,
I imagine it's probably a
one.
nice little break for some of these guys now. what it looks like, Kevin. I think we might have a self-spin.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give Heath Job the benefit of the doubt here because it does look like a self spin, but we know he had a lot of damage on that car. We saw him just trying to keep it alive as he was being lapped, and I imagine some of that damage probably weighed into effect there on the incident.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. And we see a lot of vehicles making their way through the pits right now, including the guy who was chasing down the man in first, the number 54, Dawson Price, as well as pretty much everybody from him on back to 18th. Only two that I still see currently out on the track right now, Kevin, is going to be Zeb Johnson and Christopher McCullough. They both did not elect to come into the pit cycle this time. Just pulling up our battle box here, we see when the last time everybody has made their way in. Zeb Johnson and Christopher McCullough have not. They are still on some on them base tanks out here right now, Kevin. Definitely running a different strategy compared to some of the other guys around them. Kevin, we're creeping towards that halfway point. It's going to be on lap 80 out here. I believe we're going to file back to that still, single file restart we saw last time to preserve another green flag run, hopefully, like we saw before. And see if we keep this thing chugging right along.
Absolutely. I mean, I know the poll. Let me see the results we've got here. We've got 4 votes, all not in favor of the green flag pit stop here. I'm gonna fade everybody. I'm gonna have some hope. We have a very long green run. I think we only need 40 or 50 laps here.
Yeah, something like that. Let's see if they can get it done. The pace car is making its way in. They're gonna have another straightaway and a turn to go here before we go green.
Yeah, and after everything cycles, it's still going to be Zeb Johnson in the lead out here.
Sorry, just pointing something out here. Look what this looks like from the starter's perspective. Look at the entry to this turn. The wall extends outward right there before you go into the turn.
Would that mess with your head, Luke?
Yes, a lot, Kevin. Actually, a lot. And we see the light fixtures just now kicking on, Kevin. We're seeing the shadows of these cars start to appear. And I believe we can just now start to call this a night race in Phoenix, Kevin.
Yeah, and unfortunately my computer graphics are just bad enough I don't see any shadows, but I believe you, and I'm excited for the night race.
Yeah, and boy, 3 wide already going through this first turn. Everybody holds it. We're still green flag racing.
Yeah, this is kind of going to be the upside downside of the different strategies now. We're going to see some quick passes on, kind of different tire strategies out here. We saw Dawson Price lose a spot there, but Chris McCullough is going to take his crack at Zeb Johnson now, as he's been kind of running in that top 3 all evening.
We know that both those two up there in the front, we know they're running off of the exact same set of tires and the exact same fuel setup that they had to start this race. So running on possibly more spent tires than the guys around them, but we're still retaining pretty good speed. And I'm currently reading that I believe Jaden Knight has crashed. And we are now under our 11th caution of the afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm reading Jaden Knight as well. We're going to have to go back and see. The 68 has had a very unlucky night. Nothing huge, I don't think, but I know the 68 has been involved in a lot of these.
I think he starts to lose it coming out of this turn. Yep. Comes through just a little too hot. Smacks the wall there and rejoins the track. Although I do read that... Oh. Whips a quick little shitty. Slaps the wall again and gets her rolling. Ooh-wee. And comes back. Having some rough time getting the torque of that ARCA car under control, it seems. But that's going to be our 11th caution of the afternoon. to get read that Heath Job just crashed, Kevin, right now. Too sure where we got that read at, but...
I see where it is. He slowed down to let some cars by and it read off pace.
I see.
Not a crash, though.
Well, we'd like to hear that. See the sun is completely over the horizon there. We no longer see that bright sun glare. Out of the turns. I think we see all them light fixtures kicked on up there now. It's looking nice, and I thought I'd point out here that Christopher McCullough currently reading in the pits with a black flag right now.
Oh man, unfortunate, as he was running up front.
Right behind Zeb Johnson, but now it's going to be the man that was hunting him down earlier, Dawson Price, going to be behind Zeb Johnson on this restart. And we are going to be just shy of the halfway point of this race by 5 laps when we get this thing underway.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out here that Travis Farmer has made his way back up into 4th after getting iRacing earlier. I know he had that kind of interesting incident that we were all kind of stumped on, but he's recovered and bounced back very nicely.
That's right. We see the Riley Auto Parts restart zone. They roll through and off they go. Another great jump for Zeb Johnson. Everybody's cycling their way through that first set of turns. Number 9 of Al Likens still missing a front bumper. I'd like to point out, we still see that.
Yeah, and I don't know if these. Yeah, that's a smart dive here as he's right, but it's a great defensive line there by Zeb Johnson. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it work here on equal tires.
I don't know if they will, Kevin, and I mean, just looking here, Zeb Johnson still has not pit yet. He's still running on bone stock tires. 54, last pit on lap 67. I imagine he might have taken a tire setback there, as in 3 laps they will be at the halfway point of this race, but either way, Zeb Johnson is doing a very good job in defending, as now we are creeping our way to the 12th.
Oh, and we're under a
decent
size caution. I'm seeing Buster Malcolm,
names, yeah.
James Hudson, and Nathan Swafford all involved, and Christopher McCullough is where it starts. Oh, and this was a big one with a possible arbor break. I can't lie.
Oh man. Yeah, Kevin, I think you got a correct read on that arbor break situation. We see the number 9 come flying through. He narrowly avoids it somehow. The number 102 tries to chase it. Does not quite have the same lane. Nails the back left of number 2.
Oh, and breaking news for this race, Luke.
What do we got, Kevin?
I'm reading Zeb Johnson disconnected.
Oh my. Yeah, we're not seeing him registered on the track right now.
That's leader of the entire race, all the way from lap 3, gone.
Boy, and
with a new leader of Dawson Price, which has got to be a huge relief for him because I'm sure the 54 knows just as well as anybody how hard it is to pass out here.
And he was chasing the tailpipes of Zeb Johnson all the way up until the halfway point of this race right now. But now at the start of this one, it's going to make him the leader officially at the halfway point of the race.
as they pace around for one last time. The lights are going off on the pace car. Dawson Price going to have his taste of the lead for the first time. Garrett Hummel has made his way up into second position. Travis Farmer up into third. Pace car is going to come in, and it's going to be Dawson Price and Garrett Hummel behind as we're still on the single file restarts to take us away here. Flagman is ready as they go through the turns, ready to go green out here. Into the restart zone they go, and we are green. The first restart of the evening for Dawson Price, and it's a good one, as he is out about 4/10 on Garrett Hummel here early. They're starting to get double file towards the back. Maybe a little bit of 3 wide even. Oh!
Spin out
and
by
I'm
Harold
seeing-
Johnson.
Yeah, I'm seeing a caution flown for what I would assume is just that.
It really didn't look
Looks
like it was
it's
too
contained
much.
to one person.
It really looked like a light spin out there, Kevin, maybe on the exit. Let's go back and see if we can break that down a little.
And able to keep it off the wall. That's really all that matters in a field as short as this one has become. Daryl Johnson's gonna probably need a new set of Goodyears after that slide, but other than that, we're still green.
I don't think we're green, Kevin.
Or still, he's still okay.
He's still in the green. He's still in the green in terms of vehicle condition. I think that's what you were getting at.
I appreciate you saving me, Luke, but I think I just, I don't know. And unfortunately, RF5935 is being a hater in the chat.
Oh, well.
Fuck him.
Welcome. Hear that? Fuck you, RF.
And after further investigation and finding out that's Casey Sprinkle, could be out here running this race with his team. As we see Christopher McCullough sitting in 12th place. Kenny McCullough had some issues earlier on in this one. Casey Sprinkle not showing up. So who really sucks?
We'll let you decide.
We're under caution number 13 here, and Dawson Price is still leading this thing. As you know, Luke, he got his first taste of a restart there after the incredible run of about 80 laps of Zeb Johnson, and I think he did pretty well. Garrett Hummel got caught about a half a second back after that first lap, but I don't know, Luke. These restarts, I don't see anybody catching up to the leader if we don't have a long green run.
Yeah, especially if we stick to this single file wide restarts, and I wonder if they're going to break it back down to the double wide here if the pack continues to shrink.
Yeah, we had that one good run after this single file start, but it seems like we're back to our old ways, at least briefly. But every caution that happens, the field gets a little bit smaller. Right now I am reading 18 cars on the lead lap. Officially half of what we were at the beginning.
Speaking of half, we're over halfway through this thing, and you know, Casey, neither did me and Kevin before this one.
You know, I was just talking to Luke before this race. I wonder what iRacing would think of me refunding it after one broadcast, but
Only time will
Doesn't
tell,
matter.
I suppose.
Fast Fred's Rap Shop paid for this track, so huge thanks to him. Go check him out.
That's right.
But we are green here. Another good jump for the 54. Garrett Hummel a little bit better this time. I want to, well, no, about the same. Travis Farmer knocking on the door now, looking to the inside. Oh, and we are wrecking again. Sean Merriman and Heath Job both involved.
And as soon as we go green, we are back to caution. I can take a look. Oh.
It looked like a checkup for an almost incident between the 01 and the 102 of Buster Malcolm and Jacob Petrovsky, but the 18 checks up a little bit, and Heath Job does not.
Not in the interest of slowing down, it seems. But we see the checkup happen up there on the high side. And Heath Job, no interest in slowing up there. As he drives the 18 right up into the wall.
The 9 with a little bit more of another incident. Nothing crazy, though.
Heath Job took a hard hit, though, at the end of that.
Oh, yeah, he did.
No meatball for him, though.
You know, look, I got a really feel here for the race control and Omar and everyone else that has to do the post-race review here, because this is going to be a long one this evening.
I hope they brought their coffee or energy drinks or whatever it takes to keep them awake, but they're going to be waiting for a while to dissect all of these. Either way, we get our general consensus of it. And as we keep on saying, the herd continues to thin. Seeing 16 cars on the track and caught up, 2 currently on their way out of the pits. We still see 18 on the lead lap, I believe.
As the lights are going off now on the pace car, meaning one more time around.
And you know, I'd love to get a read on what happened to Zeb Johnson. Maybe he had his fill of leading the race and got hungry or something, or what, but I assume some kind of internet issues, realistically. We have some fans in the chat calling this the Demolition Derby tonight, Kevin. Is that what it kind of feels like to you?
Yeah, it kind of feels like to me a lot of different skill levels out here. It seems like, you know, a group of all, you know, lower class guys or a group of all higher class guys would kind of be a better result than a mixture of both.
Yeah, fair enough.
That being said, we are green,
Yeah.
and the 54 with another good jump here as he's already half a second out on Garrett Hummel. And a lap car already. Buster Malcolm's being passed. Way off pace.
He's going to stay nice and high to avoid all those lead cars.
Garrett Hummel has closed that gap and made it 0.2 of a second as he looks way to the inside here. makes them briefly side by side, but then just not gonna have the speed on exit once again. That defensive line, and we are under caution. And I'm reading Brianna Laurent as well as Regan Shockley on this one. Two fairly new names in terms of incidents this evening. Luke, what do you think of this one? Luke?
You know, sorry, Kevin. I don't think you heard me there. I was just watching that from the from a different angle. It to me, it appears that. Oh man, the 93. It appears just went up into the higher line.
Yeah, and I've got to agree. Maybe a little drift down by the 6, but the 93 definitely gets too high there and causes a big collision between the two of them. We're both running a fairly clean race out here.
And overall, I mean, just rewatching that one again, the incident itself didn't seem too catastrophic. Their vehicles don't seem like they're totaled. They'll be able to get in and get that cleaned up. And they, you know, at the very least kept it contained to themselves. They didn't involve anyone else except for the two of them.
Fortunately, look, that's going to be our, what is it, 15th caution of the evening. I will say record's 28. It's not impossible.
That's right.
The 9th gear broadcasting record is 28, so I don't think it could happen. I think we're a little too progressed into this race to get 14 more cautions and break that record, but you never know.
And for the lack of fast repairs, I would hope so.
That's true. I think another issue here, which we've seen a lot of heavily damaged cars, but Phoenix is just a little bit too slow to get completely totaled cars, so guys are able to come back out here with heavy damage, but not completely meatballed.
Yeah, I mean, they're never quite getting up to that top speed, yeah.
Whereas on a super speedway, if they get in an incident like this, it would be catastrophic. Regardless, it's going to be Dawson Price here on the restart.
Once again, your race leader since the half. He's got the jump again.
As we fizzle down, it's still 18 guys on the lead lap out here, so still a pretty decent field of competitors.
Right back to that race between Dawson Price and Hummel.
And Garrett Hummel,
Travis Farmer.
he gets... Yeah, Travis Farmer's had a good run ever since his incident, but Garrett Hummel, he's able to get very close to the 54 with Dawson Price very early here once they go green. So I think if I'm a 78, I'm kind of just hoping for a green flag run to see what I can make happen.
That time by, we are officially 60 laps to go in this one. Awesome Price has been your race leader here. This, at least half since the race and on. First half of the race was led by Zeb Johnson, and remind me, Kevin, going back to our qualify grid out here on the qualifying session, just looking at where everybody started, Dawson Price started up in third. He's still running very strong, leading this race, but Zeb Johnson started in fourth, unfortunately not in a very ideal situation. And currently, speaking of in ideal situations, I'm currently reading that we have another crash on the field right now of Nathan Swafford.
Yeah, it would have jumped to the pits immediately, so this one's going to be able to stay contained into a non-caution.
Whoa.
Oh. An interesting one.
Yeah, and I hate to go back and break it down too much, but I just want to see what we just dealt with there. Oh. Do we have the option to bring him in?
Oh.
My sense is tingling, Kevin. I think we might have just seen another one.
Nathan Swafford?
I think we did. Go back and watch it.
Oh, well. I'm going to have to put that on pause.
That's our caution, because David McCullough is currently backwards. We're going to go back and take a look at that. But
If you can break this caution down fast, I can get Swafford in here. You can ask him the question.
all right, go for it. Go for it. Let's see what we got here. So David McCullough making his way out of the exit of the turn here. A little bit of wall contact. Oh,
Ooh.
the 23 kind of knifes it up there.
Oh!
Oh, man.
Well, 1-2 into McCullough there.
It seems to stay contained as far as that was concerned. But what I wanted to go back on there, Kevin, if you're looking at mine right now, take a look at Nathan Swafford here.
Yep, watch.
Just watch his RPM gauge is what I want you to watch. The thing is, I don't hear the downshift, so I'm confused as to which he either downshifted or if it was just a straight up motor blow.
Only one way to find out.
Hey, man, let's see.
Hey, Nathan Geisenberg, you got a copy?
You what? Yeah.
Hey, man, we were just kind of watching back your incident that stayed green right there before the caution, and I know Luke here is kind of our senior money-shifting correspondent. We kind of wanted to know if it was an engine problem or what kind of happened there that got you on the outside wall.
Yeah, so on the restart right before that, there was a major checkup, and a couple cars kind of bumped into each other, and then I got some front end damage off of it, and then I blew my engine on the front stretch there.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just, we were trying to get a read on the RPMs there and just see if it was a blown motor or what it was. Kind of unsure, but unfortunately, I assume that's going to be your evening then?
Yes, it is.
Unfortunate. Well,
Yep. Rough night, but
yeah, as poor as that may be, I can't lie. You might be a little bit relieved to maybe not be involved in any more incidents out here.
I would agree.
Well, we hope to see you next week, of course, and you know, good luck in the rest of the season, Nathan.
Yep, looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. That was Nathan Swafford, Luke, and your analysis was spot on.
Yeah, and unfortunate. I mean, you know, I've been there. I've been there. With money on the line, of course, it definitely doesn't feel good, Kevin. I'll be honest. It definitely does not feel good.
No.
But regardless, he made it this far, and, you know, that's a lot more than most can say so far. With now only 17 standing on the track right now. There's 16 currently on the track, actually. Jeffrey Bourne, not Jason Bourne, currently in the pits.
Yeah, and pace car comes in, and it's going to be another restart in possession of Dawson Price. Garrett Hummel, I know he's just right there. He's feeling it. He wants to have a chance, and I know the cautions aren't helping him. But we do see a little bit of a strategy play here, I do believe, because I'm not seeing Travis Farmer. I'm seeing him drop 3 spots since that caution. So the new P3 main man is Aaron Wright sitting in third. So it's going to be Price, Hummel, Wright, Billing, Hames. Another good restart there for Dawson Price.
Speaking of good restart, it seems to be a good restart all the way through, although I am seeing two drivers out there completely missing front bumpers. One of which being the number 9 of Al Likens, who is still on the lead lap right now and still fighting for positions right now, and doing a pretty damn good job of it. The other going to Heath Job, who is drastically off speed and down a lap? A lap, right? Let's see, hold on.
Well,
no, Kevin, he's actually... he's down a few more.
yeah, and you know, I was just going to say, it's a miracle his engine's still turning the way that I've seen him take some of these hits tonight, so admirable still be out there at all. And looking back to our leaders here, Dawson Price has the lead by only 2/10 now. So I'd imagine we're going to see an attempt at a fight here very shortly.
And Garrett Hummel starting to close the distance. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh! Oh!
We're seeing a graveyard and a lot of missing bumpers and a car driving sideways, Kevin. I'm reading about 9 vehicles crashed right now. What the hell happened?
Starts with David McCullough and the 01 of Jacob Petrosky, and it continues to
Oh, my.
about the rest of
Holy
the
Arca
field.
break. Oh, my lord. One hates to laugh too much, but man, pay attention to that outside line.
Oh,
Number 8. Just no interest in taking that foot off the throttle there. That's gonna be on board Daryl Johnson. Let's go back and watch the onboard here, and we'll see what it looked like from his perspective here. Oh man! And I mean, I can't lie. I don't even know if he saw it until he was right up on it. There's no smoke there. There's nothing. He can't see anything. He can't see anything. Cars are moving. There's just a car stopped in front of him. Okay. You know, maybe he just literally didn't see it. Man.
well, Luke, no time like the present to get him in here and pick his brain on it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Daryl, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, at first notice, you know, we were kind of giggling, we were kind of thinking, you know, Arca break, but we watched your onboard, and we noticed it's very hard to see if there was even an incident there until you were right there. You want to talk us through kind of if you think, you know, the Arca breaks that we've seen all evening tonight are kind of by, you know, similar situations, and, you know, what happened on that incident?
Well, for sure, I came off of, what, turn 2, I think, and I didn't see anything until all of a sudden the cars spread out, and then there was 2 cars parked in the middle of the racetrack. I had no idea, and then I just slammed on the brakes, but it was way too late. I don't know if that's what's going on or whatever, but that's what happened to me. There was just no way that I could tell that it was anything going on until the car started scattering, but I didn't see I don't know whether it was 2 or 3 cars. I was just trying to watch the replay to see how many cars were actually parked in the middle of the racetrack, because I had no idea.
It's about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Looks like about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. It was just all of a sudden there was cars parked in the middle of the racetrack, so it was like hit the brakes and pray for the best, and of course that didn't happen. So
Yeah, well, unfortunate that it kind of happened. It's kind of, you know, been all evening here with the kind of roadblock-esque wrecks. I'm trying to get a read. Is that your car for the evening? I don't know if something like that's repairable.
I towed. I haven't got back in the car yet to see. It doesn't sound good. Yeah, too much damage. We're done. So yeah, my night's over, unfortunately, but that's okay. I was having a good race, just, you know, bad luck. It was a tough track for everybody. I don't know really what was going on there, but you know, it happens, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only hope at this point that you're not part of that post-race review crew. But unfortunate that was the end of your night, but we hope to see you next week, Daryl.
Hey, buddy, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Daryl Johnson, unfortunately done for the evening, Luke.
Yeah, an unfortunate one for him there. I mean, like you said it pretty well there. I mean, up until he was right on top of that one, I mean, it looked like the skies were clear. And 1 second it's clear, the next second there's 3 cars parked in the middle of the road, stopped at 130, and there ain't much you can do.
Yeah, but we're back to green flag racing out here, and it's kind of, you know, the same thing we've seen over and over again. This time, Dawson Price has a lot more room to work, though. I see Garrett Hummel's half a second back, and then Blaze Billing a second back on him, so he's got a little breathing room this time around, as we're green for the 17th time of the night.
And a couple new additional meatballs on top of Daryl Johnson in that incident. John Marino, as well as, I believe, who else is that? David McCullough as well. And now we are only reading 12 cars on the lead lap now. I'm gonna go ahead and swap our track timer over there, our grid over there, just to our top 20 now. We're approaching the final stages of the race. And oh, a bit of a slide there for Garrett Hummel coming out of that turn. He's gonna lose a lot of speed on that, but he's gonna hold it together. You can see he's really slipping into that turn there. Maybe some of the tire wear really starting to show out here. We'll go and pull the battle box here and take a look at the last time these guys took pit. 1 through 3 looks like they last pit on lap 67. That's going to be Dawson Price, Garrett Hummel, and Blaze Billing. Travis Farmer, Christopher McCullough, and Hunter Ezell all pit on lap 104. Richard Elliott in 7th place pit on lap 94, and Eric Wright pit on lap 110, sitting in 8th place. So everybody running on a little bit of a different strategy at the moment, but your top 3 runners are the 3 that are currently, running on the oldest set of tires and had to take a guess with those. We know they had 5 on the night, so they had them to spare. I imagine they'd probably put on a new set every time they come in. We'll see how that does for them here and how each strategy plans to play out here. I gotta say, Blaze Billing might have the best car here, the best scheme-wise, to fit the atmosphere of Phoenix, I guess. I mean, he's got the colors, he's got the palm tree, he's got the blue, you know. I think it fits the vibe of Phoenix pretty well.
Yeah, I like it. We'll say that that gap now between the leaders is 7/10 again in closing. I know it was up to about a second after Garrett got a little loose, but he's gotten right back in the zone and he's closing in the time now. But catching is one thing, passing is another, as we always say here, Luke. And with less than 40 laps to go here, I think Dawson Price is in a very good position.
Yeah, I have to agree, Kevin. I mean, he's been looking sharp here ever since the halfway point of this race out here. And now under 40 laps to go out here. It's just going to be a matter of can he hang on out here. I think he might have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race out here, Kevin, and he's been able to keep his car clean pretty much throughout the entire race from what I've been able to see. So I imagine he's just looking to survive out here. He is approaching the number 760 of Heath Job here, who is a lap down and still missing a front bumper. We know he's off speed like Webber did. He's going to opt to stick it high here while the leaders go around and race him.
Yeah, very smoothly done there. Garrett Hummel got 6/10 back. Travis Farmer right on his tail, though, as he's trying to pierce through. How about Christopher McCullough? He got caught in a couple incidents, and he's made his way back up towards the front.
We'll go and watch the roll gauge here of Travis Farmer here as he's sitting pretty back in 3rd place. We talked to him a little bit earlier. He's been able to close, but all the way up here in the front. And he's not too far off on the guy in in second place right now. Maybe just waiting for the two guys up front to make it. I bet these, I know these cars probably have a decent suspension setup opposed to your daily driver out there, of course, but going across that bump on the, do they call it the dog leg? Is that what they're calling it?
Oh.
The bump here that he's about to go over, watch. And it's next turn. Right here. I gotta imagine this, no matter how nice your suspension is, it's probably gotta get pretty sore on the ass after a while, if I had to take a guess. I don't think it's going to matter too much.
Side by side for a
We're
second.
seeing a bit of a race now.
Yeah, there we are, and it looks like Travis Farmer
Gonna have
is
the inside.
gonna clear.
There it is.
Woo. I'm very happy to see a pass here, Luke, because up towards the front, it's been a minute.
Yeah, and I think we just saw how it's going to have to be made out here. You got to make that pass on the inside of it. Yeah, you got to at least be halfway there before you get through that exit. You just don't have the speed to stick it, as we see the 04 tries to go for it there, but just doesn't quite have the speed. But Travis Farmer on a mission now, as he is now going to be the man to try to hunt down Dawson Price. Got a ways to go if he wants to hunt him down. He is a little over 7/10 of a second off on him now, but he's slowly but surely reeling it in. He's gonna have just actually 30 laps to do it here this next time around. 30 laps to form something together and make something happen. The gap between Dawson Price and Travis Farmer is starting to grow. Will we stay green, and will we, Kevin, I think it's safe to say that pole of yours, I don't think that's going to stick much longer. I think it's safe to call that one, perhaps.
No.
Still holding out hope?
Got to.
Alright.
Me and one other person, believe it or not, have voted for yes. So hot. Travis Farmer, though, gaining time. Garrett Hummel headed in the wrong direction as far as gap goes. Back through the field a little bit. Seems not much battles going on. We see a pretty big gap in between 5th and 6th place of Hunter Rizal and Aaron Wright.
You know, we did see Garrett Hummel do a lot of fighting there earlier on, a handful of laps ago. I wonder if he spent his tires a little too early.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's just got to be so demoralizing.
Oh, yep, there's a little bit of a slide there on the exit.
Getting up there and fighting just for a caution to fly in, it being for nothing, so it's going to have to be really calculated here for Travis Farmer when he wants to make his move on the 54. Look, I think the most irritating part about this whole dogleg thing is the fact that SDK is telling me they're pitting every time they go down there.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't going to say anything on the broadcast, but yeah, it's been pissing me off all race. For those who don't know us up here in the broadcast booth, we get to see when incidents happen, when people go into the pits, of course, and stuff like that, to be able to give you guys an accurate reading on it. Whenever they make that that length on the dog leg right there, they cut just into the pit entrance, right, and we'll see it when they come by this time. You'll see they barely cross over the pit exit line, and for some reason, that right there counts as Travis Farmer and Dawson Price pitting right there. And it's going to show up on our screen every time for a second, but not to you guys. Travis Farmer slowly starting to close the distance. It's going to be 25 laps to go now. It's been a long race, Kevin, but it's slowly dwindling down.
And it is. We only have 25 laps here, and Dawson Price is looking strong. Travis Farmer's slowly picking off time. I think it's going to be a battle of the tires if we were to stay green out here. Biggest mover of the day, positive-wise, is going to be Aaron Wright, up from 34th into 6th. Biggest mover negative-wise is going to be Ty Carreno, DNF'd at 31st, started in 6th. Your leader is up 15 positions.
Some good nights for hanging on for some drivers, and some unfortunate early endings for others this season. It's been a long one so far, and getting below that 25 to go mark. The sun has set, light fixtures have been on. It's a beautiful setting out here at the end of a race, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely it is, and I know Dawson Price wants just as much as anybody to be able to celebrate in victory lane under the lights here tonight, but Travis Farmer is still closing that gap, made it down to about 4/10. It's back up to about 5/10, but it's going back and forth. As Dawson Price is coming up on some lap traffic up the 102 of Buster Malcolm. Going to be able to pass cleanly on the inside. That's another non-front bumper driver.
Just looking to get their laps done and obtain some points on the season, I imagine, opposed to the drivers that DNF'd out here.
And just for a little bit of reference here, as far as last laps goes, your leader Dawson Price put up a 27.75. Second place, Travis Farmer put up a 27.67. 8/100ths better than the leader. Still closing it down little by little, but it's very back and forth. I'll let you know this next lap.
I was gonna say, we'll pull up the last laps here on the left side of the screen here so we can get a good idea of what we're looking at here. They cross by out here again. Travis Farmer owns a slower lap.
6/10 better for your leader this time. Yeah.
It's very back and forth, and I mean, in my opinion, what I think it might be, Travis Farmer's trying to get an idea of where he needs to push it, which turns he can really throttle through out here on these last handful of laps to make up that time when he needs to out here. I don't imagine he's going to want to do it too early, of course, and spend those tires, but I think he's just slowly kind of trying to get a feel for, you know, if he pushes it a little bit harder here, can he make up some time on a lap, and if so, he knows what he needs to stick with here on those last couple laps to significantly. And the number 9 has a bumper again. We know he was missing a front bumper earlier. It seems they might have found an extra at the pit stall for him. As we see the difference in times there. Wow. Look at that. And Travis Farmer.
A lot quicker there, almost 2/10. Laps like that are going to be the difference maker here, Luke.
Oh yeah, and he's chewing at the time now, Kevin. I think he might have found out where he can make up that time somewhere.
Well, as you say that, I think this lap is going to be a little bit better in favor of Dawson Price.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, by
100th.
100th of a second. Not by much. They're staying toe-to-toe out here. I think it's going to be a close race to the finish either way. Both of these guys pushing these cars to the lip.
Ooh, another great lap
Yeah,
for
there we
Travis
get a
Farmer.
change.
Looking back. Looking back here at the gap, it's about 3/10 of a lead here for Dawson Price, but it's being closed down very quickly. And I'd also like to point out Christopher McCullough has made the pass on Garrett Hummel and also made up a decent amount of time. He's running just about the same time laps as the front two. So if they start fighting each other, do not count Christopher McCullough out.
He's not too far off. Just gotta wonder what can Travis Farmer do out here to make this pass. He's made a couple good passes to make his way up around here. I think it might just be a matter of running the line a little bit higher than this Price out here. Just maybe trying to save the tires a little bit longer out here when it really counts, but how the hell am I supposed to know? I'm not in the car, I'm not driving it. I'm just up here watching.
Yeah, thankfully we don't have to know.
Yeah, we'll get to watch it unfold right in front of us here.
I will say, Luke, I do imagine whoever here has a Fast Fred's wrap is probably running a little bit more horsepower because, you know, like we were talking about earlier, it's going to make you a little bit faster out here if you check out Fast Fred's wrap shop.
You know, I wonder if we could ever get a statistic up here of how many drivers out here currently are running some of those.
You never know.
See Travis Farmer running a little bit higher of an entrance there in that turn. He's going to shave off some time actually on that lap for him. He's now closing the gap to just under 0.3 of a second, but
Yeah, really got him a
very
decent bit of exit speed there. Back and forth we go, though. And that was actually a better lap for Dawson Price, believe it or not.
either way, just a very, very close race as we are one lap away from being into the single digits in terms of laps to go, that is. All the light fixtures are on, and we're about as late of a race as we can get out here at Phoenix. The sun has set in the desert, and it is, if I had to take a guess, probably starting to get pretty chilly out here, just taking a look. Track temp currently reads 91 degrees.
Interesting. Maybe the lights warmed it up a little bit. That's 3 degrees warmer than last we checked.
Possibly. That or... really can't think of anything to throw in that placement there, Kevin. I really don't know. See a slight bit of slip there at the exit of that from Dawson Price. Gotta imagine that's just him fighting the wear of the tires as they are. Yeah, they've got to be quite spent here, just taking a look at when the last time these guys both pit was. And that might come down to it, Kevin. Look at that. We see Dawson Price last pitting on lap 67, and we see Travis Farmer last pitting on lap 104. Now, they might be running the complete same set of tires, we don't know, but at the same time, that still could be another factor in this one.
Yeah, and you gotta think here, right around lap 40-260 was our long green run. So, though Dawson Price pit all the way back on lap 60, we've seen a lot of cautions, so his tires aren't terribly spent, I wouldn't say, but definitely an advantage to Travis Farmer, and I think that's going to start showing here as it's go time for him, and he is there at the bumper, Luke, as that last lap was 1500ths quicker than Dawson Price.
It was, and he ran the high line there, I'd like to point out, going through the dogleg here, and he's not going to do it again, but he really ran that line high going through the dogleg there. That last lap by, but he just can't seem to break that threshold of time that we were looking at, and it seems like the gap Price is starting to grow a little. Travis Farmer going to really have to nail into it here if he wants something, wants a shot at this one, as Price is going to bring it to 4 to go now as he crosses the start finish.
Yeah, and we got ourselves a nail biter here. The last push for Travis Farmer, last 2 minutes of this race if we stay green. Does he have anything for him? And we're reading Garrett Hummel pitting out of 4th place, or at least I'm hearing that.
And it shows he is making his way into the pits. And we see both of the drivers there fighting off the slide of these cars.
Yeah.
And they are pushing these things to the limit. And I just don't know if Travis Farmer quite has the tire tread left to beat him on these exits or these entrances, but either way, as it's going to trickle down to 3 to go, I think Dawson Price just might have this one, at least in terms of the line he's figured out. But Travis Farmer's going to give it all he's got. It's going to bring it to 2 to go out here. White flag next time. Travis Farmer's closing the distance.
One little mistake from either driver seals their fate at this point. It's a
Man,
game
oh
of inches
man.
as he has closed it down within the teens. Closest he's been.
Going through that, it's going to be white flag, white flag. What can they do? Travis Farmer and Dawson Price. Travis Farmer's got one more lap to make something happen. I don't quite know if he's going to have it going through turns 1 and 2. Going down the
got
back
the exit
straightaway.
speed.
He's got it
Here
down
he
to
comes.
2/10. Nose in on the entrance. He's going to stick it. He's going to have some speed, but it's not going to be enough. The win's going to go to Dawson Price, and he's going to win it out here at Phoenix.
Great win for Dawson Price. A great run for Travis as well.
And Dawson Price able to defend the lead for half of the whole race.
And Dawson Price now sputtering, Luke.
Is he really? Go
Out of
check out a
fuel.
cockpit. Yeah. Wow. When you hear that his car barely had enough fuel to make it across that finish line, he does not even have enough fuel left in that tank for a burnout, Kevin, no matter how bad I bet he wants to do one. Oh no, he's got some in there.
finding- He's switching the switch, or whatever the hell they do in NASCAR.
Yeah, they got the reserve fuel tank on there for the burnout, of course. He's not going to have much left, though, I don't think. As he's going to go ahead and get it down. And watch him go ahead and burn it down. But actually, I don't think he's going to have any.
I think that's all he
I
got.
think that's all he got. He got one turn. But Travis Farmer showing just how much more he had. And my goodness, it just goes to show that Dawson Price had that by a nail, Kevin.
Calculated, Luke. And
Very
you know,
well calculated. We'll have
I
to
wonder
get,
if he's 4 higher for a crew chief, because I could use one.
Absolutely. It might get me a little further than the C-Class promotion that I hunted down this the past few days. So, you know, slowly but surely making the climb out, but either way, he was able to make the right call and get himself in the winning position out here. And we'll have to get, of course, final confirmation to see what his full strategy was there in that one, but he was able to get it done and get a good win out here and stick it out from the halfway point. We hear Travis Farmer's motor getting blown. And yeah, Price has nothing left in there. He's got no fuel even in the burnout tank. He's trying, though. Look, he's trying to turn it. He tried his hardest. Oh, wait a minute. She's still sputtering barely. He's got a little bit.
I'm gonna drag him on over here. I know sometimes we go 3 to 1, sometimes we go 1 to 3. As far as interviews go, I want to get the winner in here first to see what he has to say.
Oh yeah, get him peak celebration.
Hey, Dawson, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, what a race and what a finish there. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing you, you know, take the tow, get a little bit of gas, and come out here and give us your burnout, because I'd imagine that's it for you as far as fuel goes.
Yeah, I'm way out. I came across the line there at the end with like 0.1 of a lap estimated fuel, so I barely made it.
I mean, absolutely calculated out here. I know that was a very hard race between you and Travis there at the end, as he was gaining 1 lap, then losing 1 lap, and it was very back and forth. Did he know that you were kind of in fuel trouble, and kind of was it on your mind on the laps, or were you just giving it 100 and hoping you had enough fuel to get to the end?
So I noticed kind of at the end, at that last caution, I was like, I think I might have barely enough if I can manage to save. So the whole time I was clutching in 4th gear under the caution laps. I ended up letting out way early. for turn 1 and 2, just to try to manage the tires, and then every now and then I'd give it a 100% just to maintain the gap, just hoping and praying that I could make it the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great run there. Last thing I kind of want to talk about is track position, because it seems like the only guys that really had the great success. I mean, we saw Chris there, I think, get third at the end, but between you and Zeb, it kind of seemed like the only way to stay up there was to stay out of the carnage. Do you think that was kind of the strategy? And looking forward, do you think that's going to give the guys maybe a little bit more incentive to qualify good, to try to kind of stay out of that carnage?
Yeah, I definitely do think that was part of it. I remember saying to some of my teammates earlier on that I'm glad that I qualified up further. Almost had the pole there for a bit, and then like a couple drivers ahead of me got some ripping laps, but definitely was a big part to be able to stay out of all the trouble and just kind of be up there in my own world, just ignoring everything else, focusing up. But yeah, I would definitely say that's the biggest part. Sad to see the teammates not finish as well, but sometimes you just have races like this. But I do think maybe in the future it would be something to look out for. It could just be a one-time thing, just this track. Who knows? But definitely on the back of the mind going into the next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And next week we're going to Iowa, another short track. Hopefully, the short track jitters have been settled for a lot of these drivers out here, and we can go have maybe a green flag pit stop. Who
Yeah,
knows? But
yeah.
as for
Hopefully, maybe.
tonight, is there anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
I'd like to shout out LOC, all my teammates, running with me, getting me in the league. Omar for sure, got me in here and got my first league win. Overall, I've been working for one in another league for over a year now, and it's good to finally get one under the belt.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on taking the checkered flag, and we appreciate the interview, Dawson.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep, have a good one. That was Dawson Price, your race winner out here, leading a lot of laps out here between him and Zeb Johnson. Almost all the laps, Luke, but able to get it done in the end with 0.1 in the tank. What a finish.
Definitely a photo finish nonetheless there, Kevin. I mean, you couldn't have said it better yourself there. I mean, he barely had enough to cross it across that line, but I wish we could get a read from Zeb Johnson and figure out what happened there. He shows me over in his channel. Do we want to try to bring him over and see if we could get a read from him and get an idea on what might have happened halfway through that thing?
I imagine, I know I checked right when it happened and he was muted as well, so I imagine probably not here.
Okay.
I'm going to get our second and third place finishers in here, starting with Travis Farmer, who was so close there at the finish. I think it was 22 hundredths at the line, but I'm going to drag him on over. And I know we've talked to him in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Travis, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, what a race and what a finish there. First thing I want to talk about is, your progressive gain there on Dawson. It seemed like it was just the two of you guys there at the end, as far as at least the broadcast side goes, where you were kind of picking off maybe a few hundredths a lap, then maybe losing a couple, then picking off a few more. And, in our back of the minds throughout the whole thing, it was kind of, will there be a pass attempt once you catch? Because between Zeb and Dawson, we really hadn't seen a successful pass for the lead all night. Do you think, had you had a few more laps, you would have been able, assuming he even had fuel at that point, been able to make a move on him?
I would hope. I mean, I was hoping and I was trying all I could to get to him and then get around him, but I was praying he didn't have enough fuel, but he ended up having just enough, man. But
Yeah, and
all in all, that was a great race, man. I enjoyed that.
absolutely. And we talked to him. He said that was his last possible lap there as far as fuel. I think you were on kind of a later strategy, so I assume you were probably pretty good on fuel there. But regardless, a great finish for you on the first short track of the season here. I know we're going to Iowa next week, kind of another short track. How do you feel confidence-wise heading to Iowa Speedway?
I feel good about Iowa. I like it there. I can do pretty good there.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing it and hope we can talk to you again, because that's always, well, for the most part, a good sign for the drivers if they can be in the broadcast booth. But as for tonight, congratulations on the podium. And is there anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, the team, my team owner, and you guys for broadcasting, and the whole league for letting me race.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it, Travis, and congratulations.
Have a good one, guys.
You do. That was Travis Farmer, your second place finisher out here tonight. Last interview I want to get in is going to be your third place finisher. He sat 1.1 seconds back. It's going to be Christopher McCullough. Hey, Chris, guys in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, man, what a race. I know throughout the first, I want to say, quarter of that race, we saw you up front fighting for third, fighting for second. And then a little bit of bad luck kind of got you buried in the field. At that point, I imagine you were kind of thinking that it's going to be hard to get through this field, especially with the way this race is going. How were you able to get your way back up into a podium position?
A little bit of luck and some pace. I felt real good. In the very beginning of the race, I was just buying my time saving tires. I noticed they were really hard on their tires early, so I figured I'd have an advantage. But I made my first mistake by being one of two people to stay out and kind of burying myself. And that was right after a green flag run. So I came in on the next one. I had to restart at the back. I think I was 22nd when that happened. I was able to drive back up to fifth. Burned the tires up though. Once I got to fifth, I was slow. So then we had another caution, and I decided to pit. And then, like a dummy, I sped. This was with on lap 105. So about 55 to go, I had to restart back in 17th. So I drove as hard as I could to get up to third. I just had no tires left for the leaders. I had some time I was gaining, but I just killed them trying to catch them. I was hoping they'd get racing, but I'm just glad we got some green flag racing. And when it was racing, it was fun.
Absolutely, and a good run there at the finish for you to make up positions and get into a great finishing position. We saw a double top 10 out of your team here at the short track, and we're going to Iowa next week to another short track. Do you think not only your personal but your team success as well is going to continue at Iowa?
We will see. It's just me and Kenny got taken out early. He didn't even get a chance to race, so it was just me that finished up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he finished 30th, unfortunately.
I've got money racing on my mind. I think maybe the teams are a little bit different.
Yeah, it's just me and Kenny over here. I think Richard and Danny and them, they got their own team. But
I got you.
yeah, it was good to be able to race. It was good to be able to show my pace. I felt fast. I felt like I could have restarted higher up and not had to burn my tires passing. Once the tires wore and we got on a long run, it was tough to pass. It was hard to pass the 78 there, even though he was short on fuel. Once I finally got by him, I gapped him, but at that point, I done coated my tires.
Yeah, absolutely. A great race nonetheless, and we look forward to seeing what you have in store in Iowa. Anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I got to thank my team, McCullough Motorsports. They brought me a fast Chevrolet SS tonight. I got to thank these drivers in the league. Um, it was a little rocky, but I'm sure we'll get it straightened out. And need to give an apology to I forget where's his name at. Jaden Knight. I think I got into him in one of them starts. Just apologize to him, and I just got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it, and congratulations on success tonight, Chris.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a great night.
Hey, you too. That was Chris McCullough. Got a third place finish, fighting through adversity here tonight, Luke, and that's going to wrap up our top 3 interviews on the evening. And it has been a fun one. I can't lie. We talk about these green flag runs. We talk about, green pits, but at the end of the day, the excitement is kind of what drives the broadcast, and there was no lack of that tonight, Luke.
Of course, Kevin. It was a great race out here, and as we wait for the results here to show up on screen for the official word of the end of the race out here. And big thanks to our sponsor, Fast Reds Wrap Shop out here for sponsoring this one and making this one possible. In first place, again, Dawson Price, Travis Farmer, Christopher McCullough, just name your top 3. We got Petrowski, Azell, and Wright finishing just outside of the top 3 there, and I believe we only see, 10 drivers in the top, or even on the lead lap. Should we say? I mean, that was that was quite a race. We started with, I believe, 37, and only 10 finished on the lead lap. That was quite a doozy out here. We know there was quite a few cautions out here, but it was fun. Kevin, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much wrapped it up there. It was a lot of incidents, but also a lot of excitement. And in the end, we did get to see that little green run there between Travis, Christopher, and Dawson, your winner. So I couldn't ask for much more out here. Obviously, a huge thanks to all the drivers that showed up, and an extra huge thanks to all the drivers that made it to the end there and gave us a full night of excitement. Huge shout out to Fast Fred's Wrap Shop, sponsor of today's race. If you want to get in contact with Fred and you do not know how, reach out to us if you'd like, and we can transfer you over to Fast Fred to get you looking good for your next race. Huge thanks to all the guys over at Weeknight Warriors Sim Series for helping us out and getting us going on this series. Thanks to Omar and the rest of the guys that are going to be on the post-race review crew, because I know they have a long night ahead of them. And lastly, thanks to the viewers that make this possible. Luke, anything else?
Well, you summed it up there perfectly, Kevin. We'll see y'all next week. Good night, race fans.
Peace.